All right, day 302. Today we got a subject to deal. 5827G Trail, Crestview, Florida. Let's see if we get some details right here. Purchase price is going to be $350,000, 58350, 580. Just write down these numbers as we go. Balance to close 1549. 10K closing costs, motivated seller. So it looks like this person was really trying to sell this property. So and total entry be 15,499. I'm just gonna write that over here. Monthly holding cost 2258. All right, let's take a look at the condition of the home. So you guys can kind of see it. Floors look okay. Kitchen a little dated, but you can probably get by, which is it being rent ready. No carpet, so I might set aside maybe half the square footage for some painting. Let's go ahead and plug in the rest of these details here as I look at the deal details here. So this is the net sheet. 5.5% interest rate, balance to close, purchase price 350,580. Apparently there's a seller carryback, no payments, 7-year balloon 7990. The total PITI is 2258. So for the purpose of today, all we're trying to do is figure out whether or not this property is worth our time to analyze more. And my criteria is to figure out whether or not this property is going to cash flow. And if it does cash flow, does it yield me a 10% cash on cash return? Because I think anything under 10% is just probably not worth your time. All right, so let's plug in some details here. The most important number here is that there is a 2258 holding cost, which means that's the total PITI is what I'm assuming. So let's go ahead and plug these numbers in. 350,580, 5.5%. I'm just going to leave these as is. 7-year balloon, doesn't matter what it is. Now, there might be a balloon payment of $7,000 later down the road, but all I'm trying to do is figure out whether or not I'm going to cash flow right now. So because I know the total payment is $2258, I'm going to go to B28, $2258, and then I am going to subtract the principal portion of the sub-2 loan, right? Because in this scenario, we're buying the property subject to the existing financing. We're taking over the payments on a property, right? We're not taking over the payments on the property. We're not assuming the loan. We're not taking out a new loan to buy this property. So you're going to see here in 2258, your total tax number is going to be right here, right? So we know that the total amount is correct at this point, right? That's all you care about because you're trying to figure out when it cash flows. And for you to spend your time trying to get the exact principal portion correct and the exact interest portion correctly, that's going to cost you a lot of time. And that's something I would not recommend because all you're trying to do is figure out when it's going to cash flow. For insurance, all right, in B29, because B20 already includes tax and insurance, I'm adding an extra $50 of insurance in B29 because in Florida, insurance has been going up every single year. So that's why I'm adding extra $50 because in general, when you go from a primary residence property to an investment property, insurance companies view it as a riskier investment. So they're going to charge you more in terms of insurance premium. So we're going to put that one in there. I already have my other expenses in here. I got 10% for my maintenance and CapEx, meaning I know that the roof is going to get replaced in 10, 15 years from now. I also know that the water heater is going to get replaced, or HVAC is going to get replaced in 10, 15, 20 years, even you have a really brand new one, because you have to set aside this money right now because you're going to think you're making a whole lot more profit than you really are in reality, right? If you think you're making an extra $200 a month and in 10 years from now or 100 months from now, you get a $20,000 roof replacement, that $200 per month where you thought you were making profit is all gone. And in that scenario, guess what? You're going to feel really stupid for thinking that you were profitable when you have one big expense that wipes it all out. And then you're going to figure out, hey, why was I doing that for the past 100 months, right? What was I doing all that for? So don't be that person. Always set aside money for maintenance. Then I got 10% for property management. I got 5% for vacancy, all right? So now that I got most of my numbers in here, I need to, figure out what my renovation is going to be. Because it looks relatively turnkey, I'm just going to use half the square footage for a paint job, 2327. So I'm going to go to my rehab calculator right here. I'm going to go to row 86 and G86 equals 2327. I'm going to divide that by, I'm just going to go a third actually, even less than that. 770 square feet is going to require some painting. That's about $2,300. I got $1,500 for the roof, right here, just in case there's something I can't see in the photos. Got $500 for landscaping to keep the property in a good shape while we're renovating the property. I'm going to replace one of the toilets with high pressure flush toilets, so I don't get any clogged toilet calls. So I got a total of about $5,700 for rehab. Now, for my monthly income rents. Now I'm going to get my rents. So the first thing I need to do is go figure out what county this is in. And this property is in Okaloosa County in Florida. So I'm going to go Google HUD FMR. FMR stands for fair market rents. Click on the first link on the Google search results. Scroll down, click on access to small area FMRs. From that point onwards, you're going to get a link where it says look up FY 2024 small area FMRs. And now you're going to get by state, by county, by zip code, what the maximum rent is. So Okaloosa County. So we're going to click on that one right here. And now let's see what zip code is in. 32539. 32539. We're going to go 32539. And that's going to be right here. This is a 4-bedroom property. And you're going to see right here that the rent ceiling, as determined by HUD, what the rent ceiling is. $2,260. Let's write that one down. $2,260. And what was my 3-bed? Just so I have it. $1,820. So you can see that there's a lift, right? Going from 3-bed to a 4-bed from $1,820 to $2,260. Remember that on zip code 32539. 32539. All right. And again, I'm noting down all these numbers because my partners already know how I analyze deals. So this makes the process a little bit easier. It's less work for my partners when they're going through my Excel file to figure out whether or not this is a deal and where the numbers even came from. So 2260 typically includes utilities already, right? So in order for me to figure out what else I can charge, I have to compare the rent ceiling against the market rent. So to get the market rent, I'm going to go to affordablehousing.com. I'm going to go to the owner section. I'm going to go to the market rent estimator. I'm going to plug in the address. I'm going to plug in the bedroom count. And you're going to see the most important number here is this one on the bottom right. It says that, I think this is 25 units. Within a 2-mile radius, the average rent is going to be $22.58. Usually it's 25. This is like a weird user interface today. Usually it's for 25 units. So maybe it's a little glitchy today. So 2-mile radius, $22.88. As you can see, is right along the same one as this one, $22.88. It's just right along the same lines as the rent ceiling. So today I'm going to use $22.88 as the market rent, because if you go any lower, chances are it's not going to cash flow. Even though if it's for Section 8 and you don't provide utilities, right, for you to figure out what the maximum rent you're going to have to charge is, you have to look up the utility allowances for a 4-bedroom property, single family home in this county or city, whoever is administrating the Section 8 vouchers for your property in whatever jurisdiction that is. Because if they say, hey, your allowance for water on a 4-bedroom home is $100, but you don't provide water, you're going to have to deduct $100 from $22.60. That makes it $21.60. And that scenario is the least advantageous strategy, right? Because you don't want to use it for Section 8 anymore because, well, you're going to get a lot less rents. So that's a decision that you have to decide on after you get all the information, right? Section 8, there's a portion of the rent that's guaranteed. In market rent, there isn't. But in this scenario, all we're trying to figure out is whether or not we're going to cash flow on this property. So if I use $22.88 as the rent for this property, and I flow through all my expenses, this property, if I rent it out as a 4-bedroom for $22.88, I will be negative $592 of cash flow a month. That will result in a negative 18% return on my money, assuming I bought the purchase price for $350,000 with a roughly $6,000 rehab. Okay, so using that as a scenario, this is not a deal for me, right? Again, this is not investment advice. I'm not soliciting any investments on this call. I'm simply showing you all the work I'm doing every single day, just building the reps, get the practice in. But more importantly, I hope you're able to copy my homework, right? I hope you analyze the same deal I analyzed today, right? Same details there. You got the address, you got the same details. Then go get my spreadsheet. I did not create this spreadsheet from scratch. I got it from a few other folks, and all I did was I just modified it. I tweaked a couple of them and I combined them, and that allows me to analyze the deal a lot faster. So if you go to Get Deal Analysis tool, you guys can just go ahead and put your name, your email, your phone number, and that's the fastest way to automate getting you all the spreadsheet. And then you can just follow the instructions that we went through today to underwrite the deal. And I hope you do this every single day. This is how you build habits. This is how you get better together with alongside me. And I hope you listen to the video today. Find one thing to explain better, one thing, one analogy, one statement, one calculation, whatever it is, and just do it better than I do. And then after a while, you're going to go to your own YouTube channel and figure out, wow, I kind of know what I'm doing here, right? After I go live for 200, 300 days in a row, you're going to feel a little bit more confident that you know what you're doing. And I hope that really helps you in your journey as you look at how to analyze deals further. And when a partner ever asks you, hey, why do you think this is a deal? Well, at that point in time, you can say, well, I know it's a deal because I've been analyzing deals for the past 302 days. All right. New podcast alert. If you guys are still listening, today we got a new podcast released with Sumbo Siddiqui. She's the city councilor of Cambridge, Massachusetts, former mayor from 2020 to 2024. It was amazing to have her on because she really talked about all the zoning changes that they had to go through and pass in their city to spur the growth of already 700 units so far. And they're going to keep on going. So that's a really, really interesting topic. We've had investors on. We've had mindset coaches on. We've had so many different collections of folks from single family all the way to ground up construction developers. But this is the first time we had someone from the public. And this was always part of the vision, right? How do we create a partnership between the public and private entities, nonprofit entities, doesn't matter who they are, but how do we really partner together to solve this affordable housing problem? And I hope you all continue to learn, get the information, and also collect the pieces to the puzzle so that we can all solve this problem together. All right. I hope you all have an amazing Sunday. Hope you guys spend some quality time with your family and friends today, because that is what life is all about. I'll see you tomorrow for day 303. Have a good one, everybody. Yeah, we're doing the work.